Hear me? What about now? Hello, YouTube. I am Queen Lillie. Welcome to my live. This is Life Under Trump Part 125. Yes, Life Under Trump Part 125. Hello, King Allen, my moderator. Everybody wave at my moderator. I love you, King. I love you. So we're going to be covering Life Under Trump Part 125. I hope I got the number right. It's a lot going on. The judges are putting Donald Trump in his place, letting him know he's just a rotten orange in a fruit bowl. Letitia James got something for him too because he tried to come for our girl, Letitia James, and she let Donald Trump know, don't you try me. See, Donald Trump, you want to get at him? Get a black woman at him. He'll settle down. Donald Trump, see, he's scattered. He was scattered VP Kamala Harris. That's why he couldn't handle the debate with her. Now, Queen Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, he scattered her too. See, he can't handle smart black women. Hello, Queen Vera. I miss you, beautiful. I miss you so much. I love you. I love you all. So we're going to watch a lot that's going on, y'all. I may be going from subject to subject, but it is what it is. It's so much that needs to be covered. Hold on. Today is the 19th. Life Under Trump, Part 125. Hold on. I'm going to wait till these things open up. But let me just move to something else until then. Just a moment. Hit that like button as you coming in. Also, if you want to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats. Also, my Venmo is in my description and my PayPal is in my description. So if you want to bless me either one of those ways, I am grateful. Because, honey, in this economy, everybody can use some extra money. Trust me. Just a moment. So first, I'm going to show y'all something with Queen Letitia James. She just hit Trump with the smackdown on live TV because he tried to come for her. His attorneys cannot compete with this intelligent black woman, and they know this. Why do you keep trying? Why would you try me? Like Beyonce say, why would you try me? Why do y'all keep trying black women? You can't even try a brown woman, the AOC. That melanin, they're using in computer chips, so you know we smart. That melanin they use it in computer chips, so you know black and brown people are smart. Why would you try me? This is gonna get y'all to laugh real hard.
Nothing in this world that Donald Trump hates more than smart, powerful, and articulate black women.
Hold on,
Trump
y'all. My hair is in the way. I gotta move my hair out the way.
Smart, powerful black woman, and the reason is clear: because smart black women don't put up with his crap. That's even more true today as Letitia James, Attorney General for the state of New York, got in front of the camera today to punch Trump right where it counts: his ego. I'm going to show that video because Letitia not only smacked Trump around like he was her own personal punching bag, but she made clear that she literally owns him. Because Letitia is such a smart lawyer that she worked Trump's fine so that every day he doesn't pay it, the state
Subscribe
of New York
to Occupy Democrats, fair use, educational purpose, and research purposes.
Every week you don't pay, the state of New York can afford to build another public school building. Other powerful people can call out Trump, but when they do, it's not necessarily effective because it just gets his anger up. And he just responds with his tough guy talk. But when a black woman like Letitia James calls him out, you just know it gets under his skin. Trump is such a racist that it rocks his world that a black woman has the right to confront him. But more importantly, he sits there with his fragile little ego, knowing that a black woman is actually way smarter than he is, and it just eats him alive. Did you see the looks on his face when he was debating Kamala Harris? He kept giving that dopey Trump grin to his audience, conveying, "Can you believe this woman? She's totally crazy." Yeah, he just keeps trying to delegitimize smart black women because he
doesn't Hit the like button, please.
That they are intellectually superior to him in every imaginable way. So losing his fraud case to the team that Letitia James put together is particularly damaging to Trump. So you knew he was going to find a way to retaliate. because the only thing Trump likes better than bankrupting casinos is retaliation. So 2 days ago, Trump's team found a way. Watch this.
The Department of Justice is being asked to investigate after the director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency claimed that James falsified records for home loans in Virginia. The referral says James listed Virginia property as her principal residence in 2023, despite holding office in New York. Federal officials also say James misrepresented the number of units at a Brooklyn property and previously listed her father as a spouse for more favorable loans. Now, some of the allegations are decades old. Are there any statute of limitations on mortgage fraud cases?
Yes, there are statutes of limitations on all types of fraud cases because time passes and witnesses disappear, documents disappear, and memories wane. So there is a statute of limitation. I think that is why that last instance where she allegedly declared her husband, her father, her husband, that was mentioned the last in the letter because it's just, I think, inflammatory at this point because it was so long ago.
And just how convenient is it that Pulte and his team just so happened to look upon mortgage documents for Letitia James? What a coincidence that is. Maybe Doge found the documents when they were looking up how many mortgage processors they could fire. James has stayed quiet until now, but then she punched back with this.
Let me just say to all New Yorkers and to all Americans, the allegations are baseless. The allegations are nothing more than a revenge tour. And as you mentioned, my office was successful in securing a $454 million judgment against Donald Trump.
He's trying to get out of paying that money.
For exaggerating the value of his assets. He engaged in a pattern and practice of fraud. And the interest is accruing each and every day while the case is on appeal. In the first department.
Queen Jewel.
It's important that individuals know that this is nothing more than the continuation of the tour. He went after
King Allen knows what he's talking about. He's not angry.
Women, thousands of federal employees right now are unemployed. Our government is in chaos and in disarray. Medicaid, Social Security, CFPB, and the list goes on and on and on. And as you know, as you mentioned, each and every day, my office is leading the fight against these executive orders, which have no legal import at all, have no legal significance. And we are standing up for the rights and privileges of New Yorkers and Americans. I will not be silenced. I will not be bullied. I will not bend. I will not break. And I will not bow to anyone. No one is above the law, including the President of these United States.
So the great thing about James's statement here is that she gets at why Trump is retaliating. It's not just because she won a major fraud case against him, but because she is continuing to fight against the Trump administration, and in particular, his executive orders. James calls out the lack of legal standing executive orders have. In fact, she does it better than the media. Yes, a president can direct any agency to prioritize this or prioritize that, but Trump's executive orders go way beyond that.
We're not going to watch the entire video, but I'm going to tell you what I took from this. Donald Trump is mad because a black woman has held him accountable, and he got to pay that $450 million or else. He can't get out of it. His attorneys are not as smart as the AG of New York, Letitia James. She's holding Donald Trump accountable. Most people are afraid of him and they won't do it. But she is doing it. And she don't care where he throws at her. That's what being a black woman is about. You can throw whatever you want to at us. We're not going to back down. The blood of our ancestors live in us. That kind of fight where they became free slaves and then she made us be Attorney General of New York City. Oh, you're kidding me? She's not backing down, Donnie. You in trouble. Donnie, you in danger, boy, because when you mess with a black woman, so all you have done is you have given her ammunition to really take you down now, Donnie. That's what you have done. She's going to do it for all the people of this country. For everything, like she said, she talked about what you have done since you've been in office. You have only drained this country. You have not improved it. You improved it for the billionaire friends of yours, your billionaire donors for your campaign. We're going to step outside the lines. That's why I just put hashtag news in my title as well.
And there is a mass shooting in the United States. This time it happened at Florida State University. And this garbage person that unalived 2 people and injured 5 is a European-American U.S. citizen. And his stepmother is a deputy who's been in the force for 18 years. He was not a quote-unquote illegal immigrant. He is not trans. And so I wonder how conservative folks will talk about this. Let me say one
They're
more
not
thing.
talking
There
about
is a
it.
thing that happens in mainstream media that when an incident happens and the person that committed this crime or the heinous activity is not white, they attribute what happened to the whole community. For example, when a migrant does something, they attribute that to the whole community of migrants. When a Black American does something, they attribute that to the behavior of the whole Black American community. When someone of Mexican descent does something, they attribute that to the whole Mexican community. But when it's a white American, they treat it as an isolated incident. Media headlines start popping up saying things like mental health problem, lone wolf. Or you see things trying to protect
Only
the
when they're
individual by
white.
saying things like, he was such a great kid, I could have never seen this coming. So be on the lookout for things
And he
like
wearing
that,
a
because we
cross.
need to be aware of the narrative that they're painting. Let me end this by saying, though, my condolences to the victims. If I find out ways to support the families that have been affected, I will let you all know. But this is sad. Once again, there is a mass shooting in the United States.
Why the media isn't talking about this? We all know why. We all know why. So I know y'all are looking at my beautiful lips and wondering, what lipstick is she wearing today? Well, today from my lipstick line, the Red Lipstick Hustler, I am wearing Faith. It is an organic lipstick. It is a liquid lipstick. And you can get it on my website at IamLillieYoung.com. This is what it looks like inside the container. It is part of the neutral family. It is liquid lipstick. It is beautiful. So much moisture. Made from vitamin E, grapeseed oil, shea butter, etc. This is my lipstick line, the Red Lipstick Hustler, and I am wearing Faith. My website address is in the description. Get you some. You will not regret it. I have 20 different shades of lipstick, organic lipstick, different collections. Check it out. You won't regret it. And also, if you want healthy hair, check out my Queen Lillie hair growth oil. This is all my hair. My hair was actually longer than this. I cut it and gave myself some layers, so it's shorter, but it's still long. But get you some Faith. You gotta have faith. It makes your teeth look whiter because it has like a red undertone, and all red lipsticks will make your teeth look whiter. Also, with something like a blue undertone will make your teeth appear whiter than what they actually are. That's why I love lipstick, honey. I love red lipsticks especially. And this helper right here, y'all. If she don't
to make
shut
a deal
up,
with us, we don't have to make a deal with them. There's no difference between China and any other country except they are much larger.
Yeah,
she hopped
right.
on the
There's
right
no difference between China
eggplant.
and,
That's
for
how she got
example,
this job.
Finland, except for just size and power and wealth and international influence and military might. Actually, when it comes to a trade war, this is beginning to sound like a somewhat significant difference. Here's a few reasons I think China are definitely coming out ahead in this trade war that I don't think are being talked about that much. Firstly, strategy, in that China actually seems to have one of those. These are the 2 largest economies in history clashing each other, which means there's a lot of intricate, detailed moving parts involved, which is why the actions being taken by the Chinese are intricate and detailed. China have targeted specific industries in specific states that form a significant piece of the backbone of the U.S. economy, and also of Donald Trump's voter base. They've also taken steps to replace those U.S. imports with imports from other countries to minimize the economic toll this takes on their own people. They've also halted exports of rare earth materials to the U.S. that are absolutely vital to the tech industry, the basket where the U.S. economy at the moment has the vast majority of its eggs. They also seem like they're about to start dumping U.S. bonds and debt, or allowing their manufacturers to counterfeit Western products with no consequences. Hong Kong has halted the movement of post destined for the U.S. All sorts of things. All sorts of targeted, intricate, detailed things. The American strategy seems to be bigger number. We didn't win yet. Make the number bigger. This is a clumsy strategy, right? Or more specifically, it's not really a trade war strategy. It's a PR campaign. This, I don't think, is even meant to intimidate China, because China understand what's going on. This is meant to impress people who don't understand what's going on. The kind of people for whom ideas like intricate strategy are somewhat foreign concepts. Which brings me to my next reason why I think America might be cooked here, which is popularity. China really don't need it as much. See, the Chinese government have not spent the last year touring their country making lots of promises they definitely can't deliver on. I'm going to end the wars in Palestine and Ukraine before I even take office. The markets are going to surge.
Hello,
They're
Queen
definitely not going
Victorious
to crash.
one.
Egg prices are going to be the lowest you've ever seen. You're going to win so much, you're going to get tired of winning. This man is on the clock to impress the people that fell for that story, and every loud, clumsy move he makes
Queen
reflects
Tia.
that, which is not actually going that well, right? Trump's approval rating for his first quarter is down to 45%, which is actually kind of a record. It's the second lowest first quarter approval rating a president has had since before the Second World War, only being beaten by a 41% approval rating, which was achieved by Donald Trump the first time he was president. Nobody's ever done that before. Now, once the tangible effects of this trade war start making themselves more obvious in the lives of everyday people, and that will happen, I think the Chinese people are going to handle it a lot better than the American ones. Firstly, the Chinese government didn't start the trade war, so it's a lot easier for them to sell the idea that they're just defending themselves, which means negative effects endured may just cause the Chinese people to unify even more behind their government.
Thank you,
to cause any
Victorious
kind of
one.
unrest.
Thank
The
you,
American
Queen.
people are already in unrest. That's how this person got into office in the first place, by selling a dream of a grand return to former glory by making America great again. The thing is, the dream he's selling belongs in the past. It's incompatible with the world that actually exists. You can't revive the manufacturing economy of Christmas past by trying to build a brand new manufacturing infrastructure from scratch. For one, because China already has the infrastructure and the skill set to operate it. It would probably take you like more than a decade just to catch up. More importantly, by the time you catch up, that infrastructure will already be obsolete. The manufacturing of the future will be automated, which means the jobs that come with it will be low in number and demand high levels of...
What this brother is trying to say, we're behind in America. And he's not lying. No matter how much Donald Trump turns around and twists that little funky depends in front of MAGA faces and putting more spells on them, hypnotizing them, it won't matter because China is very much further ahead of us. We are behind in America. And they don't like that TikTok and Redno has taught us a lot about how we are being treated here in America. America, we in danger. We in danger, girl. Enjoy.
Elon Musk is indeed dumping on Donald Trump, calling Donald Trump's tariffs stupid. Tonight, Elon Musk is the individual biggest dollar loser in the world as a result of Donald Trump's world war on economic sanity. And so Elon Musk began his attack on Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump doesn't understand how his tariffs actually work, the stock market of every American car company is collapsing. Their stock is collapsing, including Elon Musk's car company stock, which collapsed even more today. After a morning of Trump-induced madness in the stock market today, a member of the board of directors of Tesla publicly attacked Donald Trump on Twitter. And you know that wouldn't happen without Elon Musk's approval, especially because that board member's name is Kimball Musk, Elon Musk's brother. And apparently Elon Musk's authorized surrogate at Tesla to publicly attack Donald Trump. Now, Elon Musk is indeed dumping on Donald Trump, calling Donald Trump's tariffs stupid. Tonight, Elon Musk is the individual biggest dollar loser in the world as a result of Donald Trump's world war.
Oh, you best believe, Elon Musk rat, he's highly upset that Donald Trump has caused his businesses to crash. He attached his tail to the Donald Trump train and it did not pay off. Although he went in there and stole so much of us, the citizens' information, and Russia has it right now, and he gonna claim that Russia can't afford him, you a lie. Russia own you just like they own Donald Trump. Stay off the DRGUS, please. Alleged. Elon Musk is highly upset with Donald Trump. If I was him, I would be too, because look how much he has lost once he went over there and became Donald Trump's top. He has lost a lot. Donnie put on those knee pads for Elon, didn't pay off. Usually, like if you be getting some head, getting some head, it's gonna pay off for you. It didn't pay off for old Elon. Donald Trump is the one still sitting there in power. And Elon was sitting around doing interviews like he was the president. Mm-hmm. Yep.
They tell you this to your face. Black Hispanics between 14 to 21. They must get stopped. At the end of the month, these
pay
officers
attention, my
don't
people.
have the arrest or those few summonses, they're pressured to find something. You might not see nothing. You're supposed to be visible. You might
That's
not see
what
anything,
ICE doing right now.
Like bounty hunting for an arrest. Locking up some old guy, some homeless guy, finding somebody who's riding a bicycle on the sidewalk, who's spitting, and you bring him in.
The problem is when you go hunting, when you put any type of numbers on a police officer to perform, we are going to go to the most vulnerable.
The most vulnerable.
Of course. We're
Black
going to go to the
neighborhoods,
LGBT
brown
community.
people.
We're going to go to the black community. We're going to go to those people that have no vote, that have no power. If we start doing what we're doing in Midtown Manhattan, a phone call to the mayor's office is going to be made. That's going to be the end of it.
We're the predators, they're the prey.
Hit the like
worst
button,
thing you can
please.
have is a police officer that needs an arrest for the month.
So you're all minorities. How does that make you feel?
It's horrible. This is something coming from the top that trickles its way down, and this is why we're all here today.
That is what happening with ICE. Donald Trump has put on them, they have to collect a certain amount of billions a day of black and brown people, because that's all that he's arresting. But MAGA, make no mistake, you're not safe either. So don't sit there and flatter yourself about your skin that age awfully like an old grape that looks like a prune. Don't. They have to do arrests like the officers are saying. ICE, I'm talking about ICE, but I'm just giving you an example of how it goes.
The whole tariff thing is really about China, but Trump thought, let's make money and better deals with all countries around the world at the same time. And immediately what's happened? China is just like, yeah, okay, so what? In the meantime, TikTok went nuts. You had Chinese manufacturers, the actual manufacturers of top-end luxury brands.
And
Louis
I love
Vuitton,
it.
YSL,
I love
Hermes,
all of this.
Gucci, you name it. The actual manufacturers saying, hey, by the way, guys, we manufacture for this brand here in China. They label it made in Italy, made in France, etc. The actual manufacturer of these goods is making that handbag for $600 or $1,000, and it's being sold for between $36,000 to $60,000 for a single handbag, right? And so what happened is a lot of women hit TikTok, in which they basically ordered a massive haul of luxury goods, right? And they'd open them on TikTok and they'd look at the quality of each one of these things, like first
And they look
stuff,
good.
and this went viral. I mean, Chinese manufacturers, they literally dropped the veil on the entire Western luxury market scam, right? And showed that 80 to 90% of these products are actually being manufactured in China, and now you can buy them at like for 1% to 10% of the retail price. Oh, another thing China did, China Southern Airlines has jettisoned its entire fleet of Boeing 787s. All right, 10
China
jets
ain't playing,
for
y'all.
$500 million.
Trump don't
via
know
an
what to
auction
do right
in
now.
Shanghai. China is now transacting through a digital renminbi with, I think, something like 100 countries. China's also instructed its banks and its financial system to stay out of the dollar. China just offloaded $50 billion worth of U.S. treasuries, is what we're hearing about 2 days ago. So these are all little hints at what could be coming, but they're massive. Anyone who looks at geopolitics, looks at financial sector, looks at global economics will understand that these are not idle threats. The Chinese are ready to go. The West actually took China's strategic ambiguity as weakness. And now that Trump let loose with his tariffs, China's answers are, talk about a full spectrum response, but just enough to scare the pants off of every single American and Westerner who knows. You can bet your bottom dollar that European countries will be rushing to do business with China very soon.
Donald Trump wanted to separate America from all the other countries and continents. Only one he didn't want to do that with is Russia, because Putin owns him. So this is what we get. Black Americans ain't sad about it. And I doubt if my brown people are sad about it. Although our business is going to be hurting too, because I have a small business. But I pray about it and I keep going. But the thing is, Black and brown people, we don't give a fuck. It's funny to us because Asians are considered part of the brown people. We see each other. We do. It's funny. Trump out here effing everything up. And clear people are getting treated like Black people. Yep.
Is sending a panicked email to those on his email list telling them that he may go to jail for the rest of his life,
please.
and that you better give him some money because he's
Amen.
very nervous
Pray and
about
move
going
forward,
to prison,
Queen Victorious
and that
one.
this may be the last message
We used to it.
he ever sends. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Hello, King
How
Will.
much do I need to pay you for you to go to prison for the rest of your life? Here's the email.
Hello, King
The
LaSwan.
subject says, "This could be the last email I ever send." And here's the email that he sent out. It says, "Friend, I will never
This
stop
is Trump.
speaking
He
my
sent an
mind,
email with his
but
crazy
that means
self.
that the filthy Biden judge could throw me in jail
Everything
at any
Biden's
moment.
fault.
Corrupt Fani Willis already arrested me. Crooked Judge Merchan can do it next.
He's crying,
so before
y'all.
I step back into that New York courtroom
Boo-hoo,
and
Trump.
face the possibility of life in prison," Donald Trump is sending a panicked email to
Trump is so funny. He wants to pretend he's some strong man, but then if he when he emailed people, I've been getting emails about his new sneakers, all kind of a lighter he has. I don't know how I got where I get emails from Donald Trump. I get them too, and I'm like, God, why? And I'm gonna tell you, I even blocked the emails, and I'm getting them even more. I'm like, what is going on here? I have no interest in Donald Trump. I don't like the orange man. It's ridiculous. So Ben is in line, huh? Ben from Midas Touch Network, subscribe to them. He never lies.
Murdering the economy right now. And they're like, nah, dude, he's going to make it. It's going to be great. And it's like, no, you can see right now that's not the case. You can also see that there were dozens of economic markers that in totality, Biden beat Trump on. The notion that Trump's economy was just so much better than Biden's just flat out isn't true. The reality is, me telling you this, you're not going to believe me. Go fucking look at it. If you don't believe it, then you're in the head. Trump is crushing the economy. Every single thing that he's doing has been pushing it further and further down. Like, look, we love crypto. We're supposed to be banging right now, making money right now, and the thing's getting
he sold you a wet dream, baby.
There is global uncertainty with what wild move Trump is going to take. He used tariffs as a threat to Canada and Mexico. What happened that day and the next day? Market drops 30%. You think his fucking billionaire friends didn't clean house on that? You know they did, and they just ripped money out of everyday Americans' hands. Not only is he hurting the economy,
took y'all
but he's
401k.
giving the money to his homies. Trump's murdering the economy right now. And they're like, nah, dude, he's going to make it. It's going to be great. And it's like, no, you can see right now that's not the case. You can also see that there were dozens of economic markers that in totality, Biden beat Trump on. The notion that Trump's economy was just so much better.
Trump has killed the economy. Trump is killing people's dreams. Trump is making MAGA into Black people. Trump is treating MAGA like Black people. Trump has taken away MAGA's food stamps. Trump has taken away their Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security. He took away the FEMA to help them in North Carolina, the old hillbillies. He took it from you. And all he had to say was, take that, like Diddy. They was friends. Diddy and Trump, yeah, they was friends. I BS you not. Trump and Diddy were friends, yes. Check that. Take that.
The fact that this wasn't a 9-0 decision is still very disappointing. But the fact that we got to a 7-2 is a win, especially at 1 in the morning. And essentially what this does is kind of like what Judge Boasberg did when he said, hey, stop.
Hit the like button, please.
Deliver those people into El Salvador, turn that plane around. Basically, they're saying that plane better not take off. And we know how y'all like to act. So we will see ultimately what the Supreme Court
Satan
comes
don't
up
think
with.
he has
And
to
I'm
listen.
not necessarily the most hopeful.
Satan doesn't
about the
think he
Supreme
has
Court,
to listen.
We also will see how this court decides to act. And I think right now they're trying to figure out, is this a administration that will even ignore our court orders? And I think that that may sway how they decide to rule on this particular underlying issue.
And, you know, Maryland Senator Van Hollen just went to El Salvador after meeting with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He said he thinks that El Salvador was feeling some pressure, and that's why they let him meet with him. But ultimately, Nayib Bukele saying he's going to remain in the custody of El Salvador. We need to see more action, though, from people kind of emulating.
We must get more action. And I appreciate the senator going there, but we need more action. I don't know how we're going to make it happen, but he needs to be back here at home with his family. They have children that have disabilities. And it's like a load on the wife right now. She doesn't know when her husband is coming back. Donald Trump don't give a F about black and brown people families. He don't even care about MAGA families. He use y'all up and throw you away. He discard you like you nothing. But you can't get off his nuts. One moment.
Some big news right now. MAGA Republicans are in uproar this morning, calling what the Supreme Court did by blocking the Alien Enemies Act deportations.
Get over yourself, stupid MAGA.
Supreme coup. Republicans across the internet are extremely upset that Justice Roberts, Justice Kavanaugh, Justice Gorsuch, and Justice Barrett all joined the liberal justices in blocking the Trump administration's ability to conduct any further deportations under the Alien Enemies Act for Venezuelan men living in northern Texas. It was a significant ruling. It was handed down at 1 in the morning. And now as Republicans are waking up across the country, they're extremely upset. They thought that the original ruling, which the Supreme Court essentially greenlit deportations under the Alien Enemies Act, was the last of it, was their win.
I'm going to give it to you in the short. MAGA Republicans are mad because they get off on black and brown people being harmed. So they're mad that they're not being sent off to El Salvador because they was getting their rocks off on the ideal of black and brown people being sent away. And now it's not happening. They're mad. Stay mad. Stay mad. You prune. Look at this BS right here.
A woman was ticketed for walking on the wrong side of the street, but her white husband was not. What? So
pay attention, be vigilant, black and brown people.
She lives. And walking on the right side of
her husband was not arrested, but she was. That's some bull BS.
Citation for walking on the wrong side of the road.
Because she's black.
That's also when her white husband started recording. Take a look. Groves Police Department can't walk while black in Groves.
She got a lawsuit. She should sue the F out of the city in that white woman, in that man, this other officer, the male officer. But she's not involved in him.
It's a traffic violation.
Now,
and you age like a prune, helper.
If a sidewalk is not provided, then a pedestrian must walk on the left side of the road unless it's obstructed. However, her white husband was not issued a citation. So the question is this a classic issue of walking while being black? Or were the cops just doing their job?
They're not doing their job. They harass black people daily.
On the wrong side of the street, but
we can't trust them.
What? So Akia Towns was trying to retrieve her dogs just 2 doors down from where she lives and walking on the right side of the road in Grove, Texas. That's when police pulled up and issued her a citation for walking on the wrong side of the road. That's also when her white husband started recording. Take a look. Groves Police Department can't.
Now I'm gonna go back and show y'all the video of what those officers said they are told to do. Let me show you that video again. What the officers are told to do to black and brown people. Mainly black people. Watch this.
They tell you this to your face. Black Hispanics between 14 to 21. They must get stopped. At the end of the month, these officers, whoever don't have that arrest or those few summonses, they're pressured to find something. You might not see nothing. You're supposed to be visible. You might not see anything, but you go hunting, like bounty hunting for an arrest, locking up some old guy, some homeless guy, finding somebody who's riding a bicycle on the sidewalk, who's spitting, and you bring him in.
The problem is when you go hunting, when you put any type of numbers on a police officer to perform, we are gonna go to the most vulnerable.
The most vulnerable.
Of course, we're gonna go to LGBT community. We're gonna go to the black community. We're gonna go to those people that have no vote, that have no power.
You can't stay, you gotta go. Donald Trump, you dirty little hoe. These people are insane. They target black and brown people so much, but they are told to do it, such as ICE. They are told they have to have a certain number to destroy. That's why they're going kicking down doors in every state, not caring if they're affecting children, mental health, causing them physical and mental injuries, emotional injuries. That's what you do when you do this, white America.
White people think they're better than black people, and they want to oppress us, and they want us to allow ourselves to be oppressed.
This is the big, I agree with you perfectly. This is the basic problem.
And what you
that white people think they're better than others.
Hit that like button, please.
You guys pull the strings at closed schools.
Thank you, Queen Victorious One. Thank you so much.
You guys write up the
You're beautiful as well. All of y'all are beautiful kings and queens.
It's up to you to talk to your brothers and your sisters and persuade them that they have a responsibility. We've assumed ours for over 400 years, and we're tired of this kind of stuff now. We're not going to suffer patiently anymore. No more turning the other cheek. No more blessing our enemies. No more praying for those who despitefully use us. We're going to show you that we've learned the lessons you've taught us. We've studied your history, and you did not take over this country.
And the lesson is violence. Y'all put violence on us, and you taught us violence.
You have it now by dealing fairly with a man and keeping your word. You're treaty breakers, you're liars, you're thieves, you rape entire continents.
Think you know Black history?
You can't stay, you gotta go. MAGA, you dirty little hoe.
History of America is the history of rich white men telling not rich white people that their enemies are black and brown. It starts in the colonies.
Yep.
Of what would become the United
Preach.
States. Let's remember, during the colonial period, mid-1600s, there was no such thing as white people. I know some people who are now called white find that shocking, right? Because they think whiteness is real, right? But whiteness was created. Europeans didn't call themselves white. We didn't call ourselves white. We weren't all members of one big happy family. Are you kidding? Have you studied the history of Europe? The history of Europe was about killing each other. That's what we did in Europe. We
Tell
just
them,
killed each other.
Wise.
We figured
Tell
out
them,
there were other
Mr.
people to
Wise.
kill. We just killed each other, right? I mean, that was the history of Europe. The English hated the Irish, right? Northern Italians didn't even think that Southern Italians were Italians. The Germans hated everybody, and everybody hated their ass right back, right? There was no team called white, no race called white, but all of a sudden, in the middle of the 1600s, there was. Why? Why was it suddenly necessary to create this thing called the white race?
Mr.
Well,
Wise.
Rich people can count. That's why. And so rich folks looked around, the ones that owned all the land, you know, in the colonies, the colonial elite looked around and they realized something, that they were heavily outnumbered by African enslaved folks, by European indentured servants who were just one level above a slave, or other Europeans who weren't technically indentured servants.
King Randy, he's only been in there 4 months and he has destroyed America.
The whole history of America is the history of rich white men telling not rich white people that their enemies are black and brown. It starts in the colonies of what would become the United States. Let's remember,
hello, King. Hello, Queen Crystal. Hello, Queen Crystal.
I know some people who are now called white find that shocking, right? Because they think whiteness is real, right? But whiteness.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks. New tricks. MAGA is old. Their way of thinking is old. They stuck in 1940 and they want to take us back there. And black people and brown people are not going there. You keep trying, but we're not going there. Donald Trump is being exposed more and more daily for his buffoonery. He's a clown. One moment, please. Oh, Tesla.
In for Elon Musk. Tesla is reportedly pulling workers.
You're
while
done.
Cybertruck
You're
factory
done,
lines
Elon.
amid plummeting sales
Roll over
of
and
the
take
vehicle.
it, Elon.
They are also dropping their production targets for the Cybertruck.
Fortune magazine is reporting that Cybertruck sales have slumped due to constant recalls and Elon Musk's behavior. Additionally, investors are now getting
He hurt
incredibly
his
frightened.
his
So you
own
get a sense of
company.
how much the
Elon
sales are
destroyed
dropping in
Tesla.
Q1 of 2025. Sales of the Cybertruck were around 6,400 or so. In the fourth quarter of 2024, Tesla sold around 13,000 Cybertrucks. And this comes as overall sales of Tesla, both in the United States
In
and
1
abroad,
year,
are
only
in complete
13,000
collapse.
Tesla Cybertrucks.
Tesla is now offering various incentives to try to get people to buy the Cybertrucks, but investors don't think that it's going to have much of an effect.
No one wants them.
It appears that all the backlash to Elon Musk's actions in the United States government is now impacting him in a big, big way. We're going to continue to follow this story and more. Make sure you're following our account and add the Midas Touch.
Subscribe to Midas Touch Network on YouTube and follow them on Instagram. Midas Touch Network. Again, if you like the lipstick that I am wearing, it's a liquid lipstick by the Red Lipstick Hustler. It is my own brand. It is an organic lipstick. It has shea butter, grapeseed oil, coconut oil, vitamin E, etc. in it. It is organic. This particular shade is Faith. Check it out. Go to my website. The link is in my description. I love it.
Proof that brown-eyed people are smarter than blue-eyed people.
I tell you, brown-eyed people. You just listen. Now this is going to be an effort for you. That's going to be an effort for you because you aren't accustomed to listening. White males are accustomed to telling things. They're accustomed to listening. Now, brown-eyed people are responsible for the fact that you have electricity. Many of the components for generating and transmitting electricity were invented by brown-eyed people. Brown-eyed people gave us our alphabet. Brown-eyed people gave us our numeration system. Brown-eyed people gave us the paper on which we write these anonymous letters to me that tell me that brown-eyed people are inferior. When you go home, you people do not pray to me, for me, particularly you. Don't you pray for me.
I'm the same way. Don't pray for me. I don't trust you.
All of a sudden, you end up praying for me. Now, brown-eyed people are the ones who originated or who founded every major religion.
I love Miss Elliott too. I do, Vera. Queen Vera, I love her. She tells the truth.
Now, you need to realize the contributions that have been made to society, to civilization, by brown-eyed people, by people of color. I'm talking about people of color here, folks. And most of us are not aware of those things because we live in a racist society and because we are educated by a racist school system that only teaches us about white contributions.
Yep.
And that's a fact. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. If we would start telling the truth in schools,
Amen,
we would not have racism. We could cure racism in this country.
Where's your proof that brown-eyed people are smarter
but the thing is, clear people don't want to cure racism. They feel superior and they feel inferior to blacks due to racism. They feel like it gives them some kind of special power. That's why they enslaved a whole group of people out of their selfishness and uncaring ways. A lot of them are still that way today.
Rittenhouse, after he killed 2 people in cold blood, he raised over $1 million. Wait a minute. The officer who killed Michael Brown, he raised almost $2 million. So don't tell me that when black folks decide
all right
to put
now,
money
preach.
and support behind a young brother who didn't start a fight, who didn't threaten nobody, who was sitting where he got a right to be sitting, was threatened more than one time, was physically attacked, he defends himself, and then all of a sudden he's in jail for murder. But guess what, brother? We gonna stand behind.
We're gonna stand beside him.
White folks stand behind yours. Okay, let me that young brother was attacked. I know you're yelling because you really get worked up when you're lying. But let me say.
Yeah, we sick and tired of it.
But it's justified. Us killing but we defend ourselves. Now it's murder.
I agree with everything he has said, and I second everything this brother has said. He always right. Always. Always and forever. Yes, he is. I got a piece of hair in my eye from my head. I don't know how to get it out because I can't really look in the mirror right now.
I am the mother of Carmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas, searching for a
Texas is very racist.
Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband works hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve. My name is Kayla Hayes.
Hold on, it's a slide. Hold on.
And lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone.
And the lies came from the clear people.
Everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful.
You F with a black woman's child? Ooh.
And let me harassed and lied.
Damage will be done.
The claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else.
It's BS. It never happened.
We have not received.
Clear people made that up.
The Give Send Go fundraiser, and the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds, and it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a 2-parent home with structure.
And they don't like that with 2-parent home. Oh, they want black people to be down. Single parent.
The claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us.
Amen.
Not just some of us. To be clear, when I speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day, there's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in the legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you.
But don't F with my kid or I'm going to F with you.
My family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
If you take a look at your screen now, what you are looking at is video of Jeff Metcalf being escorted out of the co-working space where the Next Gen Action Network's office is by Dallas Police. You see that there. Jeff Metcalf, the gentleman who was wearing the sunglasses and the blue shirt, who's being escorted out, is the father of Austin Metcalf, who was the teenager who was stabbed into the traffic 2 weeks ago.
But clear people made up a lie and said he had a knife. He never had a knife. It was some kind of sharpener, I guess, like a pencil sharpener or something. He never had a knife. You lied. MAGA is good at that. And this MAGA behind us. You're such terrible people. You're willing to destroy a child and his entire family. But when y'all do it to us, it's okay. But when it's on the other side, the tables have turned and our children are fighting back. You're such bad people. You've been bad people. But who enslaved who? Who? I can't hear you, MAGA. Who? And I'm not a fucking owl. Who? And look at this buffoonery. Shaq need to go away.
Matter anymore? Or did it ever matter? Real question. Because to see Shaquille O'Neal
go out of his way
It's
to not
disgusting.
only shake that dude's hand, but hug him. It's fucking with me. And I was trying to figure out why, and then I realized why. Because this is the easiest time, and that's the easiest person to
That's
denounce.
Shaquille down there
Yet
hugging
you
old
chose
donkey.
to embrace him. For what? A fucking photo? You couldn't stand on any kind of business? And some people are like, well, he's a marketing guy. He just sells stuff. What do you say? How does associating with that guy help your brand?
It
what
doesn't.
market are you trying to tap into that you don't already have? You chose to do that. That's a moment in history that will be remembered. So whatever damage he does further, you will be associated with accepting that damage.
Yep.
You will. I'm tired of people not standing for anything. This is how civilizations fall. Because you cozy up to the bad guy. You embrace the bad guy. You normalize the bad guy. This dude is destroying people's lives in real time, and you hugging it up with him like this is cool as fuck. Heroes only exist in the movies. I'm seeing that. You didn't have to do this. You chose to do this. And if you can't stand up to this person, especially in this time, what message does that send to the young people that look up to you?
You have
Especially
children
the
as
young
black
black kids
Shaq.
out here that have a bigger target on their back because of him and the people that support him. And if you don't believe me, you got 6 kids, bro. I know he'll never see this, but you got 6 kids. Some sons. And if you think that targets won't be put on them, and you think everybody will know that that's Shaq's kid, look at what's
They
happening
don't care
to
if
this
it's his
kid right
kid.
now. I'm tired of people not standing for anything. Because like they say, when you don't stand for anything, you will fall for any fucking thing.
I second that. That is true. If you then don't stand tall and strong for anything, you will fall for anything. I don't bend and kiss the ring. I will not. Never will I ever.
And so America is, at this hour, completing the 52nd day of having a president of the United States whose brain does not work. Donald Trump's brain is broken. And so America is, at this hour, completing the 52nd day of having a president of the United States whose brain does not work. Donald Trump's brain
I
is
love this.
broken. And so
Donald Trump's brain is broken. That is a matter of fact. Donald Trump's brain is broken. Also, is his his eggplant was broken a long time ago, and Melania Trump refused to touch it. She refused to touch it. She refused to.
Are white men. The lead robbers in America are white men. The largest amount of rapists are white men. The highest number of domestic abusers is white men. The highest number of arrested pedophiles is white men. The greatest number of drug dealers arrested is white men. But if you ask the average American who are the proponents of crime, is a black face to it. They're now trying to create this narrative that the immigrants are bringing in the crime because they never want to own up to what it is that they have done.
Amen.
Part of our responsibility is to pull the sheets off. We had a shooting here in Georgia not long ago. A young man named Cole.
Hello,
14 years
King
old.
Will. How you doing?
Went and shot up
Hi.
his high school. His father's now being charged. Can you
Hello,
imagine
King
what
Edmund
conversation
Steele.
me
How
and you
you
would be
doing?
having if Colt was black and Colt's black father gave him a gun? The
Hello,
television, the
King
internet
Ryan.
would
How you
explode
doing?
on the irresponsibility of black fathers, on why it is that young black men have guns
Hit
and
the
are
like
carrying
button,
guns.
please.
It has always shifted to make black men feel hyper-aggressive, hypersexual, and hyper-criminalized. It's part of a larger historic
Can y'all hear
original
me?
sin of America.
King Allen, can you hear me?
Criminalizes
somebody
and
said they
points their
couldn't
fingers
hear
at black
my
men, when
audio.
it's absolutely not true.
Let me know if y'all can hear me.
The lead robbers in America are white men. The largest amount of
Okay, thank you, King Allen. See what it is, Magda, they come in here and they want to start some mess. I'm not giving you my beautiful energy today. You're a loser.
Premises. they would take the skin of African slaves and actually make shoes out of it. This is something that they don't like to talk about. Even today, there's a company over in Europe that makes shoes and leather products based on human skin. Right now, to this day, they make leather products based on human skin.
That's evil.
Supremacists, they would.
And y'all want to say something about black and brown people who committing crimes? It's you, MAGA. You and Donald Trump. You and Donald Trump.
You have no idea how horrific slavery was. They ate Nat Turner after his execution, boiling his body for oil and turning his remains into souvenirs. Enslaved Africans' hair was used to stuff furniture, including pillows and mattresses, while their teeth were sold as dentures for white wealthy people, including but not limited to George Washington. The skin of the enslaved individual was flayed and turned into leather for shoes and clothing. Pregnant black women were whipped on their stomachs to induce miscarriages or forced to give birth under inhumane conditions, only to have their infants sold off. Enslaved men and women were subject to brutal medical procedures without anesthesia or consent. Tools like thumb screws and iron muzzles were used to silence them, while branding irons seared their skin with the marks of their enslavers. Rape was weaponized as a tool of control, with enslaved women forced to bear children who were automatically enslaved, perpetuating the cycle. Families were torn apart at auction blocks, with children as young as toddlers sold to distant plantations, never to see their parents again. Even after death, the bodies of enslaved people were desecrated. Their remains were often stolen from graveyards and used for medical dissections or experimentation.
They're still doing that today.
As commodities, and their suffering was systematic, deliberate, and utterly inhumane. Slavery wasn't just a labor system. It was a calculated mechanism of dehumanization, leaving a legacy of cruelty and trauma that reverberates through history to this day. And still, there is no recompense or reparations for the descendants of the enslaved. And the algorithm will probably make it so that most people don't see this video. I wonder why.
I wonder why too, baby. I do.
Well, I guess you guys need to hear this from a former military person. I'm not going to do a whole lot of editing on this video. It's going to be short and sweet. We have a fascist dictator in this country now. We don't have a president.
Amen.
He's a fascist dictator. He's doing whatever the fuck he wants. This is out of control now. When he defies the Supreme Court of the United States, now it's time that we need to do something. Hear me now and believe me later. We are at the 1930s and 40s Germany level right now. Now, you see, the thing that he's doing, he's not putting people in prison camps in the United States because he doesn't want the American people to see that. He doesn't want it to look that bad. So he's rounding people up and deporting them to prison camps in other countries. Like the guy that they took
mustache guy did,
and put in an El Salvadorian prison, and then he was the Supreme Court said bring him back, and the White House said no, we're not going to do that.
Donald Trump keeps trying to defy the Supreme Court, and what he has done now, because there's more videos I should have shown, but I don't have time. He is blaming jdvance. He has put the blame on jdvance. When we all know it's Donald Trump listening to Daddy Putin. We all know it is Donald Trump listening to who? Daddy Putin. He hates black and brown people. He's sending them off to El Salvador. When he said criminals, Donald Trump, you're a 34-count felon. You are a criminal. So look yourself in the mirror and say, I am a criminal. I need to go to El Salvador and sit in a nasty prison cell. Y'all, pray for our country. I love you. Have a blessed weekend. Bye.